All right, we are here to show you the perfect butter pie crust. We have portioned everything out, and these proportions are pretty important because if you change even by a tablespoon, it can change the texture of the whole pie crust. What I've got is all-purpose flour, and this is 1 1/4 cup. Just pop it into your mixer. This is just kosher salt, and really it is just a good pinch, and I'm going to put a little bit more. I don't mind a little salt. So the first thing you're going to do is just incorporate that throughout. Just a quick pulse, a couple seconds, and you're good to go. Then we've got butter, and do you want to come up real close and show? I'll show you how we chopped this a little bit later. We cut a full stick into quarters like finger quarters, and then we chop those just into little cubes. So you pop that in, and then we froze the butter. The butter, it's really important that it's as cold as possible. In fact, the whole process, everything needs to stay as cold as possible. So I like to pulse, and then unpulse, and then pulse. And then when you hear the resistance stop, that generally means that it's ready for the water. And this is a 1/4 cup of water, and it's set in just in this Pyrex with some ice, just to keep it really, really cold. And I like to add it in 3 portions. But I think even if you added it all at once, it's not a big deal. So here's the last little bit. And I think, yes, I'm just gonna do a quick little peek. Oh, get a little more, just a tiny bit. The consistency that you want is that of Dippin' Dots ice cream, which is real tricky to get. I think it all comes with the final addition of water. Start with a 1/4 cup and just add just a tiny little bit more. And you can see this a little bit better when I put it out onto the counter. So now we're gonna prepare the surface. Just a little water, some water on the countertop. I don't remember where I learned this from. Just a seasoned pie maker's trick. And then that'll hold the cling wrap to the table, to the countertop. I like to go to, we're making a bottom crust on this one, so it's a little bit bigger. Just kind of space it out, and the little water will help hold that to the table and not let the pie crust move. You can see it's just tiny little pebbles of butter and flour. All right, this is our last crust. We've made 4. So I'm just gonna tuck it, the little loose pieces from the edges, just so they're connected to the main part of the dough. This beautiful pastry dough, and you can still see all those tiny little Dippin' Dot shapes. So then I'll go cover this in a couple different pieces of cling wrap. And then I actually like to try to form it a little bit. If you can. I didn't do this with the other ones, but flipping sides is good. And here, you may be able to see it on camera, you may not be able to, but you can see really close. You can see the tiny little pieces of butter in the dough. I don't know if you can see that. Get real close, maybe that'll help. A little closer. I think you can kind of see the tiny little white pieces of butter in the flour. So this is actually pretty good. I'm gonna do one more little kind of tuck. If you have a little dough scraper, That's really good as well. I'll use that when we roll it out right before we put it in the pie sheet. Into the fridge.